good morning, afternoon, whoever is listening to this.
Look at our beautiful space today. So we decided to switch things up a little bit and come into her beautiful beachy, vibey home.
Can you tell it's mine?
Yes, instead of the office, right? Because we
Yeah.
always do them in the office. So this is like a little bit more relaxed, but we got some good stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and before we start, I just want to preface that Harvey is out and about. So if he decides to bark at nothing, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we can he's doing good right now. So
Yeah.
let's get right into
his bunny.
Yeah, he's got his bunny.
Yes.
Get right into the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
So first thing that we want to talk about is what's inevitable, the market shift.
Yeah, which is crazy because ever since I joined real estate, it's been a seller's market. So now that we're finally starting to talk about things kind of slowly transitioning into a buyer's market, it's very interesting to say the least because, I mean, sellers have pretty much gotten everything they've wanted these past couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a seller's market for my understanding for like 10, 12 years. It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But watching the financial stations and staying on top of the trends in the market, a lot of southern states and California, Texas, Florida are definitely mentioned that they are already in a buyer's market, and it's starting to rise and come into the other parts of the United States. So we know
Mm-hmm.
it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
We see indications of it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Things are sitting on the market longer than normal.
Yep.
We have a lot more inventory than normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I definitely want to say too, like we're still seeing multiple offers, and I
Yes,
think it's
absolutely.
more the houses that are being showcased correctly, marketed correctly. They're still going pretty quickly, but agents that have kind of just taken pictures with their iPhones and put 9 pictures on the listing aren't getting the like you gotta work. You gotta work to get top dollar for your house now. So
Well, and I think the price point makes a lot of difference too. I think
Yeah.
houses under 300,000 are flying off the shelves still with multiple offers, but I think when you get into that 300,000 plus, seeing it in some of my houses that are in the 400s, they may not sell in 2 days like they did 2 years ago. So now it might take them 10 days or 14 days. They're still selling, sometimes still getting multiple offers, but I think over that 300 is no longer your first time home buyer. Down payment assistance, like these are more, higher priced homes. I mean, we've seen some between 500 and 800. They've been on the market for 3 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just changing.
Yeah.
Great time to sell.
Yes, yeah. And while we are focusing on our wonderful sellers today, and we always like to set expectations up with them. So when we talk to them about listing their home, we're setting expectations in what's called the absorption rate, which is how many days houses in their area have been on market. Because I think with how the market's been these last couple of years, sellers are expecting to get multiple offers by the end of that first weekend, and it's not always the case, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that your house isn't going to sell. It's just going to take a little bit longer in some areas. So that, it's okay. It's fine. So nothing to panic about.
I guess being realistic too, it really, really helps too, because when you have the sellers that, I mean, buying and selling houses, is not easy peasy.
No.
There's some stress there.
Mm-hmm.
So setting the expectations, I think, from the very beginning, which is what we do, which is why we don't always win every listing appointment that we go to, because we come in and we try to set realistic goals, expectations. And sometimes sellers are just wanting the fluff, and we don't do the fluff. And sometimes, we've had sellers that want to list their house way up here when their house is valued way over here. And then the deal falls apart later on because it didn't appraise. So I guess, win some, lose some.
Yeah. And that's like, because I think that sometimes when we come out to do what we call our maximum home value assessments, some agents do come in and say, hey, I can list your house for this price and, let's get it going. And we don't do that because there's a lot that goes into your price, and Zillow is not always correct. So, we get a lot of clients that are like, well, Zillow says that my house is worth this, but you really got to think about it. Zillow doesn't come into your home. It doesn't see how much it costs you to put in your brand new kitchen. It doesn't see, the updates you've done in your basement, if you have a finished basement or not. They're just going based off a list of compiled data in the area of other houses that have sold in the area, whether it's really similar or not. They're just pretty much basing it on the area.
Yeah.
So we come in, we take photos, not to list your house, but just so we can go back and compare, and we really compare apples to apples, and we dig down into these prices. We do. We do.
We always ask for at least 24 hours because sometimes, I mean, we've had some houses that we're 10 hours in. And it takes a lot of time for us to be able to compare, because we can't compare, you know, a home that is Formica countertop to something that's quartz. And, you know, we can't compare updated bathrooms to unupdated bathrooms. Like, we look at the finishes and we take all of those things into consideration. And we might even ask, like, when did you update your kitchen? Because we have something that we utilize that allows us to put in when you updated, the amount that you paid for it, and then it gives us the depreciation value. So that way you still get some form of credit for that update in your home. So there's a lot of things that we do that it takes time for us to get the price.
Yeah, it does. It does. And we don't, and I feel like a lot of people, they, you pour your blood, sweat, and tears into your house. And so you get that emotional attachment. So, a lot of clients do kind of think that their house may be worth more than it really is. And we understand that. But we have to list the house at a good price, because if you list your house too high, you're going to be sitting on the market for a long time.
Or even if it's not even too high, but even then you get an offer and it falls apart at appraisal.
Yeah.
Because you overpriced it.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot that goes into what we do. And I know a lot of people don't think that, but there's a lot that goes into what we do.
Yeah. And I just want to say, as a side note, like, we love when family and friends and everybody, they want to help you out, but, like, please trust the professionals. I'm just saying, because, I've had people, like, say, like, oh, your house is worth way more than that, or you should lowball this house. And I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing right now. So love your family and friends, but take it with a grain of salt, because we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that it's funny too, because when we do our listing appointments, I feel like we've gotten this a couple times where, like, people will say, like, wow, we learned so much in this first appointment, like, based off of other agents that have come out to our house, because we've got a whole, like, presentation. We don't just kind of, like, we want to get to know our clients, and we want to just explain to them the process. We both bring gifts, but, like, this girl, like, she's got, like, a handful of stuff. Like, here's this, here's
I love
this,
giving.
here's this. Yeah. So, we really know that picking the correct agent and deciding to list your house and knowing when to list your house, there's a lot of, like, these decisions are really big. So we want to make sure that you're armed with all the information that you can possibly have to make that decision,
So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Commission.
Yes.
It's not the elephant in the room when you're like, this is what it is. So we all obviously know, after all of the lawsuits that took place last year, that we've always said it, but commission is negotiable. So when we come in, we even show you our packages that we have for you to choose from, and the services that you want and what's most important to you. Do you want us to do marketing? Do you want an open house? Do you want a whole bunch of photos, or do you want 5 photos? I mean, do you want a lockbox? Do you want, all of these different things that we include? Obviously, staging and professional photography are 2 of our most important outside of marketing.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I really like that we have the different commission packages, because some people are just like, listen, I just want you guys to take this house off my hands. Like, I just want to be done with it. While others, they're like, hey, I want you guys to show off my home. I did a lot of work to it, and I'm ready to go all in. So I think it's really, and even just seeing, like, how much sellers can net based off of the different commission packages. So I feel like those have been, like, amazing, and I think our clients really do appreciate the difference in having those options too.
Yeah, and we've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
So we kind of try to stay ahead of the trends and ahead of what other people are doing. So we've had packages for years now. And I love it, because everybody's situation is different. Some people need to sell quickly and may have a personal reason why. And then some people are, like she said, they want us to, like, do the whole shebang, have their home cleaned and, like, just the whole thing. So
yeah, we kind of become their project manager on some of the higher up, price points too. So
take all that off your hands.
Yes, because real estate is definitely not black and white, and everybody's situation is so different. So, I mean, we've had to be really creative in the way that we kind of do things, and that's why I think the packages are just, like, I love it.
I did too. And I find that our clients do really like that.
Yeah.
The different options.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And we, and we just want to say too, like, if you, I'm going to spill the tea. I'm not trying to be rude. I need to make sure that I do this too, because everybody's like, oh, she's so sweet. But I'm going to spill the tea, because if you are expecting us to do discounted, if you want to pay discounted price, then you are going to get discounted service. Like, we pay for our marketing, we pay for our staging, we pay for deep cleaning. So we're not going to lower our price and still give, those same things because that's a lot of money.
Well, I think that's what the package is. There's
Mhm.
the beauty in the packages, because if you don't want all those services, then you can get a lower commission, but you're not going to get all of those services. So I love that we offer that, because we know what our value is. And we work 7 days a week. We work extremely long hours. We do a lot of things that people have no idea what we do. A day in our life, we're starting to show that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Our days, sometimes we work 12, 18 hours, and we sleep 6.
Mhm.
So
8 for me.
yeah, she still gets her 8. I'm good if I get 5 or 6. But even, 10, 11 o'clock at night, we could be working on graphics, content, editing, emails. Like, we're working on stuff that we don't get to be able to do during the day. So we have our night hours, or early first thing in the morning, we're compiling these things and working on these things. So it's not just about showing houses and opening doors. There's a lot that goes into being really good at what you do. And we take mad pride in that.
Yeah. And you'll see like some of these new, companies, like you'll see them advertise, like I can list your home for 1% and blah, blah, blah. But like, trust me when I tell you, they're going to find another way to put in those fees, and they're going to hide them, and they're not going to be up front. And then you're going to find out, the day before closing, like, oh my gosh, what are all these extra fees? Like, if people are listing your home the proper way, like they're going to get their money no matter what. And you also want, like this is your biggest investment. So, you really, unless you are in a situation where you're like, hey, I just need to get this house off my hands, like you should want to list your home the right way, because we've had many clients that have swiped and been like, yeah, nope, don't even want to look at this house because the photos are dark, or they'll just put a picture of the front of the house online, and they're like, well, I don't know what the inside of this house looks like, I don't even want to go and see it or waste my time, or yeah, it's dirty. And yeah, we've had a lot of clients that are like, this house is so gross, like we don't want to go and look at it. So we're trying to do a job for you, so that discounted service is
a lot of times with them too, and I've dealt with them in the past. They don't negotiate for you. I see now where sellers are doing their own showings, and buyers don't want to go in with the seller there.
Awkward.
It's kind
really
of awkward because then they feel like they can't open drawers or open what's the closet space look like?
Yeah.
So it's just really weird. So I think that stops a lot, but they don't negotiate for you. I had a case that my clients were willing to go up and really bid in this house that they fell in love with. And we had a non-negotiating discounted service, and it saved my client $30,000. So thank you for the discounted service.
Nice.
But we don't do that. We negotiate for you. We are a full service brokerage. So we are going to do all of that: negotiating, marketing, open house, show your, we don't really show your house to the buyers because we don't do dual agency. You hopefully have caught on to what that is in past videos. So the buyer's agent will typically show the house outside of an open house.
Another thing that I love about our hi Harvey, about our home evaluations is, well, I guess we get this question a couple of times. Some people want to know like how much I can get for my home now, or if there are any updates that we can do to the home. I'm so sorry, guys. Mama's boy. How, what kind of updates can we do to get more money for our home? So what we do is we talk to our clients about that. But even though our home evaluation is free, our nuggets are not.
That's cute.
Because you've been burned a couple times.
I have been burned several times. Yeah. They'll take all the information that I give to them on what they should do, and then they'll go with the discounted brokerage. And I'm like,
and do everything that you suggested.
Yeah, they do everything that I suggested, but then because they don't want to pay. So we no longer do that. We've learned over the years that we don't do that anymore. So until you sign on the dotted line, we don't give our nuggets away anymore. So
yeah, and I hope people can respect that, because we chat about those things, because we obviously aren't going to make suggestions if we don't think that you're going to get your return on investment for it, or at least a good amount. Like, we're not going to have you do things that aren't worthwhile, but we're also not going to take the time to explore all of that if you guys aren't comfortable in signing with us. And I feel like we could be very flexible when people sign with us. Sometimes we put a date down and things need to be changed, and that's okay. But, we could do a lot to make sure that our clients get what they need. What you doing? Harvey apparently has to talk to. What do you have to say to the people, huh?
Are you so lovable?
Yeah.
So lovable.
You
are so lovable.
Tell them. My mommy sells homes so I can have all the toys and treats in the world.
Can you tell?
Yeah, he ain't missing no meals.
He a little fluff ball.
Yeah. More treats, please. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys have any questions about how we do our home evaluations, if you're curious about what your home is worth, please let us know. We love to come out, and we obviously love dogs. Everybody's like, I have a dog, that's okay. We're like, yes, I'll meet them too. But
they would love meeting all the pups.
Huh?
We love meeting all the pups.
Yes. But we're very flexible. We come out on weekends, evenings, whatever you guys need.
Yes. And I love that we do a lot of marketing too. So it's not just about putting a sign in your yard and putting your listing on your home on the MLS, the multi-listing service. We actually do like videos. We do H2H cribs, which is actually gaining some really good momentum. People really, really like that we do the H2H cribs episodes. So it's just fun. We love being creative and bringing some different, some youngness, some newness, some trendy, all of that to the table. Because just putting a sign in your yard used to sell homes. It's still selling homes, but why not get more traffic, get more eyes, bring in more buyers? So the marketing is so crucial, and a lot of people don't even they just put a sign and put it on the MLS.
Yeah, well, this girl has this huge yellow banner that we put out on, was it Farmington Road in Livonia the other day, and people literally stopped. They're like, yeah, we saw it. I mean, you could not miss it. So, we definitely go above and beyond because we want to get your home sold.
Yeah, open house was packed.
Yeah, it was really packed. And literally some people literally just came in off of the sign, which was really cool. Yeah. But I think we've done pretty good at marketing, and it's fun.
Yeah. We enjoy it. I was like, I swear in another life I had to be a marketing person.
Yes.
I
seriously, you're really good at
marketing.
It.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have questions about the shift in the market, like Derica said, now's a really good time to sell before things start to kind of, get more and more into that buyer's market. And we know that once things start to get cold again, which I don't even want to think about because we're about to enjoy summer, but things kind of slow down a little bit with sellers, but we get our houses sold. So if you guys have any questions on what that looks like for you, and you know who to call.
Yes, and don't let the interest rates stop you. I know a lot of times we hear people like, oh, I have 2.99 right now on my home, but you have $150,000 in equity. Like, how good would that be to get that equity? I know then to turn around and buy something at a higher interest rate right now, but what goes up must come down, right? So we know the interest rates are going to drop. You can refinance your home later on. So don't let the interest rates stop you from acting now and taking advantage of that equity.
Yes. And we have lenders that are truly amazing and will sit down with you and go over those numbers. So like I said earlier, the more information you're armed with, the more confident you are in being able to make the right decision for you and your family. So that's what I love about our lenders. They're not pushy. They'll sit down, answer the questions that you need, know what those figures look like. So then you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yes. So now is the time. Give us a call.
Yep.